Let's start the session then. Abhi we have like 25 members. How many of you are from first year? Like raise your hands. Okay, and one more thing. If you're comfortable, you can turn your videos on. That's fine because this is going to be more of a discussion session than any lecture or class. So you can also turn your mics on because we are going to interact and have discussion. It is not a class or any lecture on JavaScript. It is discussion of why does JavaScript behave so weirdly and what are the reasons behind those. So if you can turn your mics and cameras on, we would really appreciate that. All right. How many here are from first year? I can see only Dhruti and Aman.
Guys, please raise your hands if you're from first years.
Okay.
Cool.
8, 9 students. Cool. Okay. Everyone else is. Okay.
So for the first years, it will be a very great session for you to begin with because like apart from the conventional way in which we teach or like JS is actually taught, this is going to be really different as Srishty said. So that's something that we are like going to learn in this session. And yeah, so I guess that will be a very beneficial session for all of you guys.
You can put your hands down. Okay. Before we get started, how many of you have learned JavaScript? Like how many of you use it or have built any projects using JavaScript or okay, 5 members.
Like even if you have learned JavaScript to like extent to a certain extent, you can raise up your hands. Like even if you have not implemented them in a project and like just learn, you're in the learning phase, you can just do that same.
7 students. Okay. Okay. Coming to the slides. Okay, so like as you said, 7 of you have learned JavaScript. You know what JavaScript is. It's a scripting language, and if you have used it, you must be knowing it's very weird. Like it, unlike the usual languages like C, C++, it acts in a very weird manner. But it is not this weird behavior is only apparent. There are many reasons behind that behavior, and in this session, we are going to discuss. Explore how JavaScript is weird, discuss, and then also tell you about the reasons, like why does it behave that way. Okay, so let's explore this weirdness of JavaScript. Okay, before that, have you like do you watch memes or have you ever seen this JavaScript meme, like JavaScript is the most hated language or yet it's the most loved language, or it's the what do we say, most popular language of 2024?
Because
Yeah.
that has not been the case a few past few years ago, but it has been topping the list for the few years now. Like since a few years it has been topping the list, like despite of it being the one of the hated languages because of its weirdness, and that is what we are going to learn in this session. So but it's one of the loved languages that we developers like mostly use in like our projects, and we tend to like use JavaScript in majority of the projects. So that is the thing.
Okay. And why do you think that it's one of the most hated language, and what do people hate this for? Like any answer or anything? You
Guys,
can
you
just
can
turn your
answer
mic
it
on.
in the chat box.
Like please
Yeah.
keep on answering and interacting, guys, because it has to be like you
This
can
is
keep
not a
answering in the
lecture.
comment section. Yeah.
If you're not comfortable turning your mics on, you can just put your answer in message box.
Ma'am, it doesn't give any type error while operating some operations on the variables, like adding number to the string like that. It doesn't give any errors.
Yeah, you can add numbers and strings. It doesn't give any type error. Yeah, that's correct. Anyone else? कुछ भी बोल दो, like okay. Have you all seen this meme?
This is what we have been speaking about. Yeah.
Yeah, JavaScript is my even JavaScript is my favorite language. But then you like as Himanshu, what was his name? He said like we can add numbers. Like 11 is a string here and one is a number, but still we can add 11 and one, and that doesn't result in 211. The string 11 minus one. We can't do this in C, C++, or any other coding languages, right? You must have seen similar type of memes. Okay, now moving forward, even this meme, NN means not a number. It has a type number, and then if you add 0 plus 1 and 0 0.2, then it doesn't result in 0.3. Okay, now uh, moving forward, we have few questions for you uh, to explore the weird word of JavaScript. Okay, let me share my
Yeah.
entire screen.
So like you will be able to answer the questions and let's give the questions a try. And like if you are able to get the answer of the questions, like drop them down in the chat section.
And yeah, you need to keep interacting because as
Yeah.
Bhaiya said, we have swags. The whoever is answering the questions and whoever will in the we have actually a scoreboard and the toppers will get the swags. So you need to keep interacting because we are not moving forward to the next question unless you answer the first question. So here we
So like
go.
keep on interacting and yeah.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, let me hide this. Okay. Coming to this, what do you think will be the output for this one? If we add B, string B plus string A plus string anything, like you can literally add anything, and then again string A. What do you think the result will be? Again, if you don't want to raise your hands or turn your mic on, just put it in the message. Banana, yeah. Wishy Anand. You're okay? Any other guesses? किसी और को कुछ
Himanshu,
बोलना?
you raised your hand, Himanshu. Like answer पता है तो बोल. Like if you know the answer.
You can turn your mic
Should
on.
I tell the answer or should I type it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the chat
Like
box?
you may answer your prediction or your guess.
Can I see the question again?
Okay, wait. The first question, this one.
I think it will be BA hashtag and singular and A in a single string.
Okay, it will be BANA
Hashtag anything
hashtag.
A.
Okay.
Anything A.
Okay, this is what you think the answer will be, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Those who agree with Himanshu can raise their hands. Himanshu said this will be the answer, the entire string.
Ma'am, Didi, there's a double plus sign before the anything two times.
Double.
Two times the plus sign without anything in between. After B hash A hashtag anything.
That's
Yeah.
why. That's why. If we put this double plus, what will be the result of it? I know if we don't put the this plus sign, it will be this. But if we put this plus sign, what will it be?
Uh, then I think it will be same.
I mean banana, wishy, Anand. Okay, let's see. Okay, as he said, if we don't add this plus, let's check what is going to be the result. Okay, it is banana. Okay, so as he said, if we don't add that plus, it will be this string. Is my screen visible? Is the terminal visible? Let me
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah,
increase.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think now it's bigger. So yeah, this string, as you said, yeah, this would be the case if we don't add the plus. But if we are adding the plus here, now this will make it not a number, NN, and then the result will be banana. So this is not this. It is going to be banana. Now coming to the second question. What do you think will be 0 equals to 0? You You know booleans, right?
Guys, do a thing. You can do the same code in your own VS Code. You can run it in your own local machine and try it.
True, false. True, false. Let's run the entire file and see what are the results. Okay, first we got banana, that is not a number because this thing is not a number because we can't add a string, like we can't do plus plus operation with a string increment. That's why it's giving not a number, that's why it becomes a banana. Then coming down, this is the first one is true, 0 is obviously equals to 0, then plus empty array and then plus not an empty array, this is also giving true. Okay, coming to third one, 0 is equals to plus false. This is what is it giving? This is giving true. Then foo plus bar. And let's check this out in terminal. Here we have node open. Is my terminal visible?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Let's check what is foo plus bar. And again, you are getting foo nan, not a number. Okay. This one, 0 plus 1 plus 0 0.2, 0 plus 0.1 plus 0.2 is equals to triple equals to 0.3. What do you think the answer will be? Will it be true or false?
Like just try
0.1
it on
plus
your.
0.3.
You may try that out. The people over here may try that out in your local computers because
If you have
those who are saying
installed,
true, please give the question one more try because this is not that simple. So, and the one saying false may state their reasons. Q false over here.
if you have installed Node, just open your terminal and say Node, then okay. Have we got answers? No, guys. If okay, how many of you think it will be true? 0.1 plus 0.2 is equal triple equals to 0.3. How many of you
Just raise
think
your hands.
that will be true? Yeah, let's type it here. 0.1 plus 0.2 is equals to 0. Let's wait for the answers. No one has raised their hands. Okay, how many of you think it will be false? Vishi thinks it will be false. Dhruti, Vishi, Dhruti, then Harsh. Okay. Vishi, Dhruti, Harsh, Anshuman, Lavish. Okay. Let's check now. 0.3. It's false. 0.1 plus 0.2 does not equal to 0.3. Okay, what are the reasons? We'll be discussing in further slides. Let's check it out here. Yeah, it's giving false. Cool. Moving to the next slide. Uh, right. Arya, will you share your screen?
Yeah,
I think you have that code file.
yeah. So, is my terminal visible from here?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Cool. So the very first question that we have over here is like we are comparing the two empty braces. One is having a ternary on one side and the other is having a not a ternary operator. So like what do you guys think would be the answer of this one? If you can like predict this answer.
Put it in the message box if you can't turn your mic on.
Like
Lavnish,
like
you
it
have
will,
raised your hand.
it will of course be a true or false answer. So like the ones thinking the answer is false or the contrary answer may raise up the hands because previous answer was also false. So like the possibility is कि ये भी false हो जाए. तो जिनको भी लगता है false होगा like raise up the hands. Okay, so you think it is true? Cool. Okay, so let's try that out. Of course, it is true because the thing is, like when we are comparing the return two ends, both of them end up in zero, and so like it is zero equals to zero, and so it ends up in returning true. So that consequently returns a truth. So yeah. And so in a similar manner, we are comparing true and false. That is, here we were having the braces, and here we are having the turn Boolean expression with the square braces. So like predict the answers of these four questions in a very similar manner. These are the very same questions as the first question. So like predict these answers.
Guys, please interact. The one who will be interacting the most will be getting the swags and the stickers.
Because we
So do
have
interact.
the leaderboard thing, so we'll be also sharing a link where we will have to answer questions and share the scores, and those having the highest scores will of course get perks over the others who are not interacting. So that is something that we have to keep in mind. So yeah, so answer
Wait, Dhruti
having that
has
in mind.
answered. He has
Yeah,
given false, true, true, false.
okay, cool. So like false, true, true, false. Nah, it's not that. Okay, let's try that out.
Shubham. Acha, Shubham, are you from first year or second year?
Okay.
Okay, first year.
So whenever the concept is like, okay, we'll be delving into the concepts later. But the thing is, when we are having a base and a relational, the Boolean expression on the sides, we convert this to a number, and so this is a so this first one will return a true, because and this will the first two will be false, and the next two will be true, as we'll be seeing in the consequent slides. So like let's paste out the solutions. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. So the first ones, this is equals to 0 equals to 1. The true returns to 1, and this is an empty, which is a 0. So 1 equals to true is not 1 equals to 0 is not true, so it will consequently return false. And the others are also very similar. So like we'll be delving into each of the concepts involved over here. So the basics of the questions are here, and the concepts will be discussed later. Okay, so moving to the next questions. So like the next concept that we have is of the object.is function. So this is a very important function because we are pretty much accustomed to using a triple equal to sign, but कभी कभार हम लोग object.is भी use कर सकते हैं in several expressions. So like you have to predict ki what will be the difference in using a triple equal and object.is. So that is the underlying factor in these questions. So and like answer these three questions. So the only hint that I might be giving you guys is like when we are having nan on two sides, so we cannot compare nan with nan. So nan with a triple equal to will always be false because that's having infinity and infinity on the two sides, so that will always be false. So that is something that I can tell you. So consequently, tell me the answers and like post your answers over here. So whenever there is a nan triple equal to nan, that will be a false. And object is dot when we are using, and when it is having minus and plus, this will again be false. That is the concept. We are having minus is triple equal to 0, and minus and plus they are not considered because we are considering the value and the type, which is the same because there is nothing called minus 0 and plus 0. So this would return true. So that is what we are going to show over here. So let's paste this out in our terminals. So is that the answers? So like try to answers guys. Others जिन लोग answer नहीं किया also try them out. काफी hints तो I have given. Just please try them out.
Okay, we have got answers. Vishy has answered true, false. Shubham said true, false. Anshuman also answered the same.
Cool. So let's check them out.
Himanshu, true, false.
Okay, so let's check the answers. As I said, nan triple equal to nan will always return false, and object dot is minus 0 and 0 will always return false because that is the underlying concept. And minus 0 when triple equal to 0, that is always false. That is always true. So the third question is a expression considering the first two questions, because over here we are having nan and this is also nan, 0 by 0. So the nan on both sides will of course return false. And this is a nan and this is again a nan. So object dot is nan and nan will always be true. So this is the solutions for these questions. So okay, we have noted down the correct answers, like the ones giving the correct answers. Cool. And the next concept is number dot min value. So like, have you heard of this concept? Like, what does this return? Will this return true or false? This is a single question, a single snippet. So what will this return? Number dot min value greater than 0. What will this? What will you think? What do you guys think that this function will return, or this snippet
Vishy
will return?
says false.
Okay. Any other answers, guys? Okay, so let's check this out. So min value returns the minimum floating point integer that we can, floating point value in any number system we can have. So the minimum floating point decimal of course greater than 0. So in any case it is going to be greater than 0. So this will return true. So that is the concept. So let's check this out. So this is true, yeah, because it returns the minimum value that can ever be possible, which is approximately equal to 5 into 10 to the power minus 32. So you can check that out or read the docs. We'll be providing the links, or we'll be providing the materials in a later slides. So that is the concept. This will return true. Okay, and like try out this one. This based on string concatenation. If you have seen earlier, like this array gets converted to string when we are adding them. The plus operator concatenates them. So like answer the question on based upon that.
So before that, in any other language, like whether it's C, C++, or even Golang or Python, can we add two arrays or two lists? Is it possible to add two arrays in any other language? Shraddhan said no. Yeah, it's not exactly. But see, JavaScript allows us to add two string arrays, and that's why we call it weird.
Correct.
And Dhruti and Shubham, Vishi have answered.
What are the answers? Let me check them
Uh,
out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so like
Concatenation.
Shubham and Dhruti have answered it correctly. So like अभी होता क्यों है, that is a concept that we are gonna understand. So पहले answers and outputs देख लेते कि कैसे ये चीज काम कर रहा है. So okay, so like happy to inform कि like Dhruti and Shubham have given the correct answers to this question. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. So the concept is key, the last, when the arrays are getting added, it concatenates the last from the first array and the first element from the second array, so that this becomes 32, and the other elements or the other numbers are the digits are the same as the given the original array. So the only one of them concatenates and the other remains the same. So that is the 34 gets in between. So that is the concept. Okay. So
Yes,
based on this
Tatra.
concept,
In Python, we can add two lists. But Python is not an array, like it's more of a vector because it doesn't have a fixed size. So yeah, in Python we can add.
so vectors are like what, they're dynamic arrays, so we can like keep on changing the lengths. So based on this concatenation thing, and we have added also a subtraction thing. So like you guys have pretty much understood the concept of plus. So like अब अगर बीच में minus होता है तो what would be the answer? Like over the 3 plus 2, 3 minus 2 is a very basic things, like no need of answering those. Like answer these three questions. कि अगर string के form में minus string concat plus कर रहे हैं तो like what would these, the last the three snippets return? This is
Make a
already
guess. Yes, even
yeah.
if you haven't learned JavaScript, just make a guess.
Yeah, just make a random guess that what this would be. The highlighted codes. So giving you a hint that from taking up from the previous discussions, that plus sign concatenates the two sides, so that would be a string. So it would not be an addition, as you might have guessed. Yeah, addition नहीं होता है, but subtraction के case पे arithmetic operation हो जाता है, and so like it would return 2. So like ठीक है, like try that out. But second case में it will always be a concatenation. So अब 3 minus 1 31 होगा कि 2 होगा, like that is up to you.
We have got answers from Vishi, Dhruti, Dhruti says it will be 0.3000. Okay. Then Shubham.
काफी रिपीटेटिव नेम्स आ रहे हैं यार, बाकी लोग भी ट्राई करो, बिकॉज इफ दीज आर द वंस कॉम्पिटिंग, सो तो बाकी लोगों का कुछ है ही नहीं, सो दीज आर द वंस विनिंग द प्राइजेस, सो कूल.
It's fine. We have a lot of more questions. So yeah, you can
हाँ,
still win even if you're not answering.
करेक्ट.
In second, it is string.
In second it is string, correct. So first one hoga, it will be a like a simple arithmetic operation as we have done. So this would return 2 and this would have a string concatenation, and so this would return 31. So that is the concept कि minus के time पे वो arithmetic operation हो जाता है. So that is the thing. Based on this, you guys can try out this question. What will happen if I add a 4 with another 4? Wait a second.
Wait. Arya, show them in Node na. Like open
I'm
terminal and
showing, like what will this 4 and 4 return if they are separated in array formats. So like we have already done a question regarding array now. So like we have understood arrays pe we can add, so in JavaScript, but array ke form mein agar we are multiplying, so what would that primarily result in?
Vishi Anand says 60.
So एक साथ में तीनों का आंसर बता दो गाइस, बिकॉज अगर पता है तो, बिकॉज अभी तुम लोग देख एक रेड आ रहा है मेरा, तो देयर हैज बीन अ नैन इनपुट, नैन आउटपुट, एंड जो सेकंड वाला पे नैन आ रहा है, सो सेकंड वाला इज गोइंग टू बी 0. सो सेकंड वाला गोइंग टू बी 0, दैट इज अ हिंट दैट आई कैन गिव यू. सेकंड वाला नैन नहीं होगा, बट बाकी ट्राई करो, बाकी ट्राई आउट द अदर्स. फर्स्ट वाला 4 होगा कि 16 होगा कि नैन होगा कि 0 होगा, क्या होगा? एंड द लास्ट वन. आंसर्स ऑर्डर फॉर्मेट में दो, 1 2 3 करके.
Shruti is saying first one will be nan.
Okay.
Anshuman,
Okay, will we
Shubham.
get? Okay.
Their answers are 16, 0, nan.
Cool. So जिसने भी आंसर किया 16-0 9, congrats. One question on your tab because you have got that correct. So let me explain the reason क्यों हो रहा है. It's 4 cross 4 when it is multiplied as an array. So as a single element array, it gets converted to a string, which is further converted to a number. So 4 cross 4, 4 into 4 as a number would always return 16. So that is correct. But when it is an empty array, that would always be a 0 into 0, which is 0. But the main concept or the main underlying concept is in the third part, which can we multiply the two numbers if it is a multi-dimensional or the multi-dimensional or multi-element array. That would not result in anything, because when there are multiple numbers or multiple elements in an array, that cannot be converted into a number, because 4 could have been converted into number and this could also have been converted into a number, but 4 comma 4 is not convertible to any number. So that would be in nan into nan, so like which is primarily nan, so that would not result anything. So correct. Those of you guys have answered 1609 16-0 nan, they are correct. Like let's check that up in Node whether we are correct or not. Yeah. So 4 cross 4 as array, single element array is returning something. 0, this is primarily 0 into 0. This is nothing because we cannot convert a multi-element array into a number. So this would not return anything. So that is it. And the last question coming up on the weird behavior is this. This is a very good question that I have been searching up on the internet or like resources. So like all of you must try this question up, because I guess this is a question which you would not have come across in like very often. So like please do give it a try.
Vault. Vishi says vault.
Okay. बाकी लोग try करो. अनवॉल्ट क्यों होगा? मतलब विषय अगर पता है तो थोड़ा रीजन भी एक्सप्लेन कर दो हमें, मतलब बाकियों को, तो पीपल जिनको नहीं पता है इवॉल्व आंसर क्यों होगा, व्हाई नॉट हेलो. There is a very simple logic to it, right? There is a very simple like underlying rule that is to be followed in such ternary. It's not a ternary, it's a like a logical expression. अब इस logical expression के time पे क्या rules follow होते हैं? That is a one liner rule. So like Just keep that up in mind whenever these questions comes up. And okay. So let's try this out. This would return world, correct? But how world? That is the logic. So the logic over here that we are applying is, when we are doing a hello and world, we check whether the first argument is a null or not. If the first argument has been defined, because when there is an argument passed, we consider that it is true because an argument has been passed, so it is there, so it exists, so it is true. So when it is true, this would always return the second argument. And if this hello is not if there is no argument passed, so there is no argument, so this is false. Always return. If I'm over here, if I'm dynamically initializing hello as null, so hello does not exist, so the answer would be null. So this is something called short circuiting, जहाँ पे हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we like try to print up on the console of the second argument, because हमें पता है कि hello exist करता है, and when hello exists it would always return the second argument. If hello does not exist, then it would return up the first argument, which is again hello, which is null. तब null आएगा. So the either two things are, either it will return null या फिर second argument return करेगा. So hum log, we are like forcing it to, like by coercion we are trying to return second argument, so which is something called short circuiting. So yeah, that is world, correct? So these are the questions, I guess. That's pretty much it based on weirdness. Like, please check that up, Srishty, once.
Yeah. Okay. Now, out of these people who are answering, Vishi, Shubham, and what
Just keep
Anshuman,
on noting their names. Just keep on noting their names, like the
yeah,
people who
I've
have been
noted.
answering.
I've noted.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so how many of you were actually like doing this on Node terminal and like getting the answers? Because I don't think it is possible to guess the answer like that.
These are very non-intuitive answers, as you might have been understood throughout this the next previous 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So
Okay,
like,
now
Bishi,
moving
you
is
on.
there
can turn
genuinely?
on your microphone.
Sorry. Sorry, Anmol, did you just say anything?
Like I was saying that Bishi, you can turn on your microphone if you want to say something.
Oh yeah, Bishika, raise your hand. Okay, now moving on. Is my correlator visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so the answers are given here. An empty array and an empty string, they are equal. An empty array and zero are equal. Again, an empty array, like as Arya said, that the first element and the first and the only element is equals to that array containing that element. And zero array of array containing only zero is equals to zero. And then again, even null is equals to empty string. These all are just weird behaviors of JavaScript. Let's try running this. Weird one. Okay, so the answer we are getting is true, true, false. This one's false. Okay, all right. Now moving on to math. Even the math in JavaScript is very weird. Okay, what do you think will be the output for the first? It's given, it gives 111. Let's try this out. Yeah, so string 2022 minus string of 111 gives 101. It's a number. Let's check. Type of 222. It's a number. So if we subtract a string from another string, it's giving a number. Okay, then what do you think will be the output for this one? It is not minus, it's minus, then minus of string.
This is very similar to something we have done in plus plus also. जहाँ बनाना आंसर आया था, if you guys remember. तो
And someone also mentioned कि shouldn't that like plus नहीं होना चाहिए, या it's
I
similar.
guess Himanshu got that. तो
Uh, So we have seen कि string of 222 minus 111 तो 111 आता है, but यहाँ पे क्या होगा in the second one? So whoever will answer this question, because this one's trickier, will get extra like bonus points.
and another add-on to this, these are very common interview questions that you might come across in interviews, because यही questions पूछे जाते हैं guys. It's not कि पूरा website बनाना पड़ता है तुम्हें interviews में. So these are the pretty common questions that you might come across when you are giving actual interviews in with companies. So like अगर answer कर पाओ तो please seriously answer करो and genuinely, and please try to keep it interactive as much as possible.
Okay,
ठीक है,
Himanshu
because
says 222. Okay, yeah, continue.
great. So ठीक है, cool. और कोई answers?
Wait, Arya, there was one doubt.
Okay,
Shubham
cool.
has asked if there was or instead of and, then would it be hello? Let's check it out.
Let's check
Right?
that out, because these are
Yeah.
very non-intuitive questions. We can always check that up, and also check the types and on notes. So
Hello world, it's still giving hello, because one, like this is truthy value and this is also truthy, but if you get truthy or truthy, the first
correct.
truthy will be written, that is hello,
So
that's why it's still giving hello.
so this
I
is
hope your
nothing but
doubt is cleared.
what is and what is or. Like we are on the gate level thing. So and returns true only when both are true, and or returns if any one of them is true, right? So based on those lines, we have the answers. Like we have the logic set as if or रहता है, and अगर hello and world है, तो it would always return the second argument, and अगर or है, तो it would always return the first argument. This is a trick that you can keep in mind, but this is originating from the underlying fact कि मतलब गेट लेवल पे हम लोग जब डिजाइन करते हैं, जब एंड रहता है तब दोनों हाई होने पे हाई होता है, और होने पे इफ देयर इज वन हाई द आउटपुट इज हाई. सो इट इज व्हाट वी डिफाइन एज ट्रुथी एंड फॉल्सी वैल्यूज. सो या
Not just electronics, but even
हाँ,
C++ or किसी भी coding language में, this is the logic we use, right?
करेक्ट.
Okay, Vishi and Shubham. Okay, where is Vishi? Vishi has answered. Shubham has answered. 333, yes. 333 is correct. Okay,
Yeah,
unary converts the string to number. So minus 1 becomes minus 1. And yeah, exactly. The minus converts it to number, and minus of minus something becomes plus. So 222 plus 111 becomes, this one gives 333, 3033. And that's a number. Again, string 1 plus 1 gives 11. We have seen that. But what is string 11 minus 1? What do you think it is?
this is also we have done. Like so keep answers. This is a very similar question जो अभी किए just हम लोग 3 minus 1 sort of a thing. Yeah, correct.
10.
Yeah, yeah,
10. Okay. Arya, can you tell me the names of students who have answered 10?
yeah. I've noted them up. I've noted them up. Another addition is Dattatrayam. Like this guy has been
Dattatra
answering.
Bhunde, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Again, this one. We have two numbers and one here. String 1 plus 1, number 1 minus 1.
This is a combination of plus and minus. तो अभी जब हम दो questions किए उस पे basis पे like answer this. This is a combination of using plus.
110. Okay.
Okay.
Divide this, like do this in step. Like first one will be 11, string 1 plus 1. What will be the result? And after that, that minus 1. First you'll
Correct.
have to do string 1 plus 1. What is it? And then minus 1. Think. 110 is not the correct answer, but okay. What's the logic you have used? 11 plus 1. Yeah, Vishy, that is not 11 plus 1, right? See here, this will result in 11, string 1 plus 1, but this is minus 1. This is not plus 1.
So the main concept is कि when we have plus, we try to implement that in string, and when we have minus, we try to implement that as integers. So yeah.
Sorry, I overlooked this. It is 11. No. Harsh Verma. Yeah, Harsh Verma. Shubham. Yeah, you are correct. Shubham
Dhruti is
is
also correct.
correct. Uh, okay, Dhruti. Yeah.
Dhruti and Vishy. Vishy, yeah, you are correct this time.
Vishay. Cool. Let's try that out. Yeah, it's giving 10 because as we've 1 plus 1 will give 11. Then string of 11 minus 1 is 10. So this will also result in 10. Okay. Okay, now what is true plus true? You all are in first year, right? So you must have learned electronics. True.
Another heads up, true plus true, matlab, it will not be a boolean, like a heads up to the question. Boolean nahi hota hai, so think on those lines.
Okay, everyone is giving 2. Can I
Yeah, of course
change
you
to me?
can change Vishy. Yeah.
Cool. N Aditya. Okay, let's check it out. What was it? True plus true. It's giving 2.
Correct.
Coming to last question. True plus true into true plus true minus 1. Minus true. Can you do it without trying that terminal? Like it's very easy. Like if you have answered this one true plus true, then this one's very easy. If you know the logic, if you got to know it. 3. Okay.
काफी लोग 3 आंसर कर रहे हैं, good.
Yeah, Vishy, can you turn your mic on and explain like why do you think it's true? 3. How many of you answer?
Yeah,
Himanshu, Harsh.
Harsh have also answered. Yeah, Harsh has also answered.
Wait, like Vishy stop.
so 2 plus 2 becomes 2, as we saw in the earlier example. So 2 into 2 is 4. 4 minus 2, which is 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3.
Okay. Are you from first year? Are you from NITR?
No, I am a guest attending.
Okay. Which college are you from? Himanshu said 2 into 2 minus 1. Let's run this. Yeah, it's giving 3. And as we talked earlier, 0 0.1 plus 0 0.3 does not equals to 0 0.3, so it's giving false.
So like you can try out the what will be the actual answer. So like please try out and abhi type करके लिखो what is the correct answer. What's 0.1 plus 0.2 in JavaScript? Everybody like try to drop your answers कि 0.1 plus 0.2 actually क्या होता है.
Yeah, oh wait, one more thing. If 0 0.1 plus 0 0.2 is not equals to 0 0.3, then what is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. कि actual value predict
Yeah.
करने का try करो. So that Himanshu isn't that 0.3. You're just the significant figures still remain the same, right? कहीं तो change होगा ना. So like where's the
Okay,
change?
let's
You're on
check.
the right.
He
You're
is
on the
saying
correct lines.
wait,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah.
0.3000, right? Let's check if that is equals to 0.3. Himanshu
You
said,
can
okay, let's check.
even you can check that up whether is it equal
Hmm.
to 0.3 or not.
Yeah, wait. If this is equals or not.
Of course,
This
of
is
course,
giving false.
of
This is
course.
giving false. So your
That is what
logic
we.
is
So
incorrect. 04 as of terminal. Yeah. Vishy Anand, Dhruti, Harsh Sharma, and Shubham Sahu. That's the reason. Let's try this out. What is actually 0 0.1 plus 0.
yeah, Devnath, you can go with your
What?
question. Like, what's your question?
Hello, Arya sir. Actually,
Yeah.
sir, I know, means I have learned Java and Python, but
Okay.
sir, I have not started JavaScript yet. Means in our school, I was from ICSC, and it
Okay.
was taught to us Java and Python from class 6, so I know it. But मतलब बहुत दिन हो गया, तो it's मतलब not I've not revised.
हाँ,
So
okay.
means can how means how can I means contact you, because I want to means again means start my journey with coding, and also how can I means
Okay,
start it
okay, okay.
start.
ठीक है, cool. So like addressing the number of questions that you have asked. So like first of all, कहाँ से हो तुम देवनाथ?
सर मैं तो कोलकाता से हूँ.
अच्छा, मैं भी कोलकाता से ही हूँ. So like you can call me भैया, ठीक है? That's nothing, sir मत
ओके.
बोलो यार. And
ओके.
another similarities कि मैं भी ICSE स्कूल में ही था. So the thing is कि जावा जो हम
अच्छा.
करते थे क्लास 6 से,
हम्म.
so हमारा बस जावा ही था. Even I can relate to that. But अभी touch I had lost touch personally. मैं ये जावास्क्रिप्ट, रिएक्ट, अब फ्रेमवर्क्स पे काम करने लग गया. So like जावा से रुक गया था. So as I moved into second year, so try to keep on solving lead code या फिर कोई भी CP के questions try to solve, or like try to follow up on DSA, ताकि you can right remain in touch with those concepts of like DSA or like concepts of oops or जो भी है oops in Java or oops in C++, any language that you are confident in. So pick
ओके.
a language and try solving questions on any platform or कोई course follow कर लो. So and apart from that, dev के side पे as long as you are like understanding the concepts and making projects, you are good to go. ठीक है? So I hope that answers
ओके.
your question.
ओके
And
भैया, थैंक.
तुम NIT से हो क्या?
एंड
Are you from NIT?
हाँ हाँ, मैं एनआईटी से.
Cool, cool.
थैंक यू
And
भैया.
any more? Cool. Good.
At the end of the session, we'll be dropping some resources to learn JavaScript. So that'll
Yeah.
help. Okay, yeah. So as I said, it's 0.3000 and we have 4 at the end. That's why not equals to 0.3. Moving on,
Correct. So
we
ये
have
4 कहाँ से आता है? Like try to find that out because ये precision के लिए आता है. We have something called loss of precision because ये 0.3 होना चाहिए था, but there is a loss in precision in converting to a float number. So इसलिए we have a 4 at the very end of it. तो इसीलिए वो equal नहीं होता है. So let's try to find that out on details of this topic.
okay. Now we
ठीक है.
have scope-based questions.
We'll be conducting these sessions regularly, and as we have told that it's especially a weekend session, but हम लोग weekdays में भी करेंगे ये session because weekends and weekdays दोनों पे रहेगा on JavaScript and on various topics of JavaScript. So this is gonna be a 6 or 7 session interactive group set of sessions.
Okay, that right. Yeah, we have 7 sessions in this series, and even tomorrow, the day two, like session number 2, will be tomorrow. So you can
Yeah.
join that as well.
So we'll be learning.
There is
There is
one
no
group.
specific group to it. So
We'll share the community group link by the end of the session. GDSC community group. Are you from NITR, Dattatra?
okay, cool.
Okay, moving on to the scope-based questions.
I'm sharing the screen, Srishty.
Yeah.
I hope it's visible. So
You got this
so like
link in CC. Okay, the community. Okay.
okay. तो अभी बताओ कितने लोग NIT से हो यार, because I can see many people are not from NIT, so like please raise up your hands those who are from NIT. Okay, बाकी कितने लोग यार? NIT यार की जनता किधर है?
8 लोग हैं टोटल NIT से.
ध्रुति, हर्ष, you guys are from NIT ना? तो like जो भी
Yeah, they
NIT से
have raised
होंगे.
their hands.
हाँ, like I just want to know कि कितने लोग बाहर से आए. That's very great actually for us. Cool, ठीक है. Going over to this. So अभी हम लोग we are delving into concepts of scope. What is scope? Scope की एक variable उसका lifeline कहाँ तक होता है? How much part of the program that variable is actually living or it is valid? That is what scope is. So we have different scopes for var, let, and const in JavaScript. So that is what we are going to learn through examples, of course, because this is what it is. So अभी बताओ कि what will be the answer of this? When we have a var function defined at the top and we have a function, uske andar there is a log and then we are calling the function. So like what would this return? there is an important concept called hoisting involved in this topic, involved in this question to be specific, and we'll be learning this in a very next slide that Srishty will be coming up with. So agar hoisting pata nahi hai, then also you can answer this question, but that is the underlying concept. But jisko bhi pata hai answer to this question, please drop your answers down. Okay, 20 आंसर्स आ रहे हैं. ओके ओके, सो जिन लोग भी 20 आंसर किए हो, वेरी मतलब 20 आंसर नहीं है, सो दैट इज द कैच. क्योंकि होस्टिंग में क्या होता है कि द 20 इज पुश्ड अप टू द टॉप एंड फिर 20 और 10 में देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन द वैल्यू, सो इट इज रिटर्निंग अन अनडिफाइंड वैल्यू. सो आल्सो लेट्स चेक दैट अप कि अगर किसी को 20 आंसर किसी को लग रहा है तो लेट्स चेक दैट अप. So this returns undefined because that is how it is done. Because अगर हम लोग बाहर 10 ले रहे हैं और अंदर 20 ले रहे हैं, so as you know var also coming up to this will also be coming up to it later कि var function is actually a function scope thing. So ये function के अंदर living होता है, let is a block scope thing. So inside this function validity is always there, validity is always present. This 20 and this a and this a are different as we can know. So this local variable actually overshadows this global variable, and so there is a conflict between the two values of a. There is a 10 and there is a 20. So there is a conflict between the two, and so that returns undefined. अब हाँ, इसको prevent करने के लिए we can like use different methods. There is something called this variable. So like we can do this to resolve conflicts between instance variables and other things. So अब इसमें there is a conflict between the global and a local variable. So this is actually returning undefined. ठीक है, cool. So going next question, इस पे the only difference is कि इस पे var के जगह let use किया हमने. So like how would that affect the answer? Like answer कि if I using let instead of var, तो answers में क्या change होगा? There's nothing, no more change to it. बस function के जगह if लिया है because as I already told, let is a block scoped function, block scoped keyword, and var is function scope. तो अब let use कर रहे हैं तो block use करना होगा. तो I've used an if block. तो if block के अंदर बाकी the same concept is there. तो answers would be similar, right? But थोड़ा सा different आता है. मतलब it is again undefined, but technically undefined नहीं होता है. There is a different error message that comes up. तो ये error message क्या होता है exactly? ये अगर पता हो तो even you can try that up because ये questions तुम बोल नहीं पाओगे अगर नहीं पता होगा तो. Because ये तुम्हें टर्मिनल में चेक करना होगा. Because ये भी nan ही आता है, बस exactly nan नहीं होता है. There is a error message that shows. Because you can understand कि इधर initialize पहले हो गया है, but initialize console होने के बाद initialize हो रहा है. So वो ऐसा कुछ चीज को access कर रहा है जो कि defined ही नहीं है तब तक. So there must be some error. तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? What is error message called? Like drop down your answers with respect to that.
Like there are different types of error, right? Reference error, syntax error.
Correct. तो इसमें syntactical होगा, reference होगा. So क्या error होगा exactly?
Okay, everyone is saying reference error.
क्यों reference error होगा? मतलब किसको? Like the reference must be, ठीक है? Like of course that will be a reference error, that's correct, but मैं पूछ रहा हूँ like what's your reason behind answering that? If you can like
You can turn your mics on and just say it out.
even you can like those who are answering, please try to answer the questions with your mics on, because if you want to answer, otherwise it's fine. So of course this is gonna be a reference error because ये ऐसा चीज को access ही नहीं कर पाएगा जो कि create ही नहीं हुआ है. तो it's something ये create नहीं हुआ है, उसके पहले we are initialize होने के पहले we are console.logging it up. So that is gonna be a reference error thing. So इसको बोलते हैं temporal dead zone. I am like showing up this thing, but just keep the thing in mind कि इस जब भी let function defined हो रहा है and जहाँ भी ये reference error हो रहा है, but because ये initialize ही नहीं हुआ था, तो this creates something which is called known as a temporal dead zone or TDZ, because इस portion पे in the temporal dead zone function is not defined or it is dead. तो उस portion को अगर मैं console करूँ तो वो reference error दिखाएगा. So reference error in the temporal dead zone is actually the answer. So temporal dead zone दिखाएगा कुछ और reference error. Cool.
Now because
this is the error message that we can see. It cannot access, and so this is a reference error. ठीक है, reference error cannot access B before initialization. So this is the answer that we were wanting. Cool.
Okay, Dhruti and Harsh said that because we are assigning to before, like we are accessing before initialization. Then how was it possible with the first case? Like how did we use it before initializing?
So that is the thing, because either like the thing is कि this is, as you know, this is not a block, this is a function, because I've
Wait,
already
I'm
stated
asking
that.
them. Let them give their
Okay,
reason.
cool. I thought this is a question. ठीक है.
Like Dhruti and Harsh, why do you think that it was possible in the first case, and why is it not possible now? Because in first case we use the variable before initializing, before declaration, right?
Correct.
Yeah, in this case the A.
दोनों जगह सेम हो रहा है, but due to difference in hoisting methods, hoisting only done for var, so that you would come to know जब hoisting होता है तब reference error ऐसे नहीं दिखता है. जब in case of like hoisting var में होता है तो we undefined thing, because undefined तभी हो रहा है because ये ऊपर चला जा रहा है and इसको overshadow कर दे रहा है. 10 and 20 overshadows 10, so there is a conflict between the two, so that is why it returns undefined. The reasons are different, but over here there is no conflict. The thing is कि we are trying to access before initializing. But here, so this creates a temporal dead zone over here. But either this is not here. This is actually goes up over here. So this is something called stacking, or hoisting, where there is a stack created and it is pushed up above the function. So that is why this console.log इसके नीचे कुछ actually में नहीं रहता है, ये ऊपर चला जाता है चीजें. तो इसमें the error messages are different in the two cases.
Yeah, so basically JavaScript has different rules for these two keywords. For let and const, it doesn't allow hoisting. Actually, it does allow hoisting. Hoisting is done. The variables are declared at the first initial context. But the reason why we can't use it, because there is a rule in JavaScript that we can't access the variable before initialization when it comes to let and const. But it allows it with the var.
Yeah, so moving up to the next question, इधर बस const है, तो this is a very simple question. I hope ये सब answer कर पाएंगे. So like I want everyone to answer this question, because इसमें there is nothing to explain. Because this is a very intuitive question. सबको आना चाहिए this one. Because इधर 10, 20 ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. There is only 100. तो either answer would be 100 or undefined. तो क्या होगा? 100 होगा, अनडिफाइंड होगा, नैन होगा, जो भी है, और कोई एरर आएगा, रेफरेंस एरर आएगा, सिंटैक्स एरर आएगा, क्या होगा? Any answers, Srishty? किसी ने दिया आंसर?
Yeah, Harsh has said 100. Shubham said 100. Dhruti said 1.
1, okay.
Sorry, 100. Yeah. Dattatra said 100.
Okay. So let's check that out. Of course, this is going to be 100, of course, because either like we are not accessing, इधर कोई भी नीचे कुछ है नहीं, so we are not trying to like access, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है इधर, so this won't create an issue. So and also this is const, तो इसमें कोई var वाला hoisting का भी issue नहीं है, so this is not going to be an undefined error, या फिर reference error भी नहीं आएगा. तो of course 100 हो रहा है, 100 इधर print होगा और बाहर call हो जाएगा, तो this would actually return 100. So let's try that out. Of course it is 100. So ठीक है, this question does not need any explanation, I guess. So let's move to the next question. So these are like the next 3 questions are going to be an implementation of what we have learned in the first 3, or the so like try to answer these questions. There are, like, as you must have seen or observed in the first cases, इधर बस एक ही variable था, तो things were much simpler. But इधर we have introduced 2 variables, थोड़ा complicate कर दिया चीजों को. So how would this complication change your result? इधर x है, y भी है. So in the next 5 questions we have x, y, d, e. So we have used variables. So how would that affect your answer? So x का एक value होगा, y का एक value होगा, या फिर undefined होगा. So whatever is your answer, like just post it up. हिंट इज देयर, कि हिंट दे रहे हो कि var फंक्शन के बाहर एक्सेसिबल नहीं होता है. लाइक थिंक कि लास्ट वाला कंसोल क्या कंसोल करने वाला एग्जैक्टली. लास्ट वाला कंसोल तुम्हें अनडिफाइंड देगा या 10 20 देगा, दैट इज अप टू यू.
Harsh is saying 10, 20 reference error. Shubham said 10 undefined, 20, 10. Vishy said
Okay.
10, 20, 20.
Okay. ठीक है, let's try this out. So coming to the last one, उसके बाद में आते हैं, पहले 10 और 20 वाला देख लेते हैं. 10 and 20 are very intuitive. 10 इधर प्रिंट हो रहे हैं and we are consoling 10, so this would of course console 10 to the terminal. इधर 20 है तो this would always 20 input output कर देगा, irrespective of इधर मैं let लूँ var लूँ, it doesn't matter, as long as the var is inside the function example, this will always return. ठीक है, so this var is function scope, so function के अंदर ही देगा, but as long as it is like as soon as it goes outside of the function, we are trying to access this outside of the function, so as we have already learned, this would create something called reference error, तो ये हो ही नहीं पाएगा. So this would have some error called reference error, or we have not, it is not defined error, so this would not be an temporal dead zone, but this would be something known as not defined error. So reference error also has types, you can also give a read key types of reference error क्या क्या होते हैं. So as long as I know, this would throw an error called not defined, so the correct answer would be 10, 20 not defined reference error. ठीक है, so that is it. Fifth question भी on based on similar lines, बस the change is कि var के जगह let use किया है. So try that up. If true, the only thing is कि if true मतलब it always enters this block. If it is always valid and this variable always enters, this is always forced to enter this block. That is the concept. तो इसमें बताओ what is going to be the output of this thing, कि आंसर क्या होने वाला है. Srishty, you're noting down the answers, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Cool. ठीक है.
Okay, Vishy has asked a doubt. Isn't var has global scope, so once declares, can't it be used anywhere? In which question, Vishy?
Which question?
Previous.
Which this one, right?
Scope 4.
So of course I told you कि इधर दो variables है, right? X को मैं कहीं भी यूज कर सकता हूँ, that's not be a problem. This is a global thing. तुम देख रहे हो ना, this is a global thing. तो X को मैं कंसोल करूँ कि इधर कंसोल करूँ, it's no matter. But Y is only defined within this. तो Y उसके अंदर स्कोप हो जा रहा है, तो we cannot use the Y outside of the function. Look, this is the same as having a function over here. I could have created the same function over here. इधर मैं एक function ले सकता था. This thing could have been wrapped within a function. So अगर this function being there and not there is the very same thing. तो मैं globally use कर रहा हूँ, because when I am doing a console.log x, this is accessing the x globally. But जब function के अंदर है, it is enclosed within the function. This is function scoped. So this will always return 20 within the function. But बाहर आ जाऊंगा, तो this would return not defined. बट अगर इधर मैं console.log x करूँ, it would again return 10, क्योंकि बाहर भी 10 ही रिटर्न कर रहा है. तो मैं अगर ऊपर वाला इधर कंसोल करूँ कि इधर कंसोल करूँ, it will always be the same. That is the thing. I hope you get it. बस यही रखना है कि वेरिएबल जो बार यूज होता है दैट इज फंक्शन स्कोप, एंड तो फंक्शन स्कोप इट इज ऑलवेज ग्लोबल. तो मैं इधर कुछ डिफाइन कर रहा हूँ कि नहीं कर रहा हूँ, दैट इज नॉट, इधर मैं एक फंक्शन के अंदर पूरा var x को इनक्लोज कर सकता हूँ, दैट इज नॉट अलाउड, दैट इज नो इशू. बट लेट हमेशा एक ब्लॉक के अंदर स्कोप होता है, इफ ब्लॉक, व्हाइल ब्लॉक, डू व्हाइल ब्लॉक, कहीं भी, फॉर ब्लॉक कहीं भी, तो उसके बाहर एक्सेस नहीं होता है. बट ये फंक्शन के बाहर एक्सेस नहीं होता है. तो मैं अगर सपोज इधर मैं एक फंक्शन डिफाइन कर दिया, इसको फंक्शन कुछ भी ऐसा फंक्शन डाउट करके आप डिफाइंड अ फंक्शन, और इसके बाहर अगर मैं x को कंसोल कर रहा हूँ, ये पूरा x के अंदर है, और इसके बाहर अगर मैं console.log x कर रहा हूँ, तो क्या रिटर्न होगा? ये देखो, लास्ट थिंग अगेन रिटर्न्स x is not defined, y is not defined, x is not defined. These are the two solutions. Y is not defined, तो आंसर कि y बाहर नहीं हो सकता है. सो अब y का बाहर वाला फंक्शन ये वाला फंक्शन है, तो y बस एग्जांपल में डिफाइंड है और स्कोप्ड है, और x बस डाउट के अंदर स्कोप, डाउट के बाहर जा रहा हूं, दिस कैन नॉट बी एक्सेस्ड. So this loses its life, and this actually returns x is not defined. I hope it answers your question. Okay, so moving to the next question. ये let वाला question आंसर करो. very similar logic is also there कि ये 5 है तो this would always be 5, अगर ये 10 है तो ये always be 10. The only thing is कि वहाँ पे we have defined a function and यहाँ पे we have defined a block. This is a very interesting thing to understand कि जहाँ भी if we have a block scope, अगर var let यूज कर रहे हैं तो let कभी भी फंक्शन के अंदर यूज नहीं होगा, let हमेशा ऐसा एक ब्लॉक के अंदर यूज होगा, और var यूज होगा तो एक फंक्शन स्कोप के यूज अंदर यूज. So this will be 5 10. अब लास्ट वाला कंसोल क्या रिटर्न करेगा, that's the trick. That's something that you have to predict. So it would be an undefined thing. So like giving a heads up, it would be 5 10 undefined. Let's check that out. Okay, so 5 10 और इधर पे क्या दिखा रहा है, it is not defined. क्यों? Because मैं ब्लॉक के बाहर आ गया हूँ. तो ये इधर मैं var यूज करके फंक्शन के बाहर आऊँ या फिर मैं ब्लॉक यूज करके ब्लॉक के बाहर आऊँ, it will always return not defined reference error. Keep this thing very well in mind कि कहीं भी अगर हमें दिख रहा है कि एक फंक्शन डिफाइन किया एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सेस द var आउटसाइड ऑफ द फंक्शन, या फिर आई हैव डिफाइंड द ब्लॉक एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सेस द let वेरिएबल आउटसाइड ऑफ द ब्लॉक, so that will always return a reference error, variable not defined, or reference error is not, that specific error will always throw up. So that are the two concepts. And अब const, I hope विशी का जो डाउट था वो भी सॉल्व हो गया होगा. एंड अभी const पे आते हैं. const पे एक क्वेश्चन अभी ट्राई करते हैं कि const 3.14 आ रहा है, तो व्हाट वुड दिस कंसोल प्रिंट टर्मिनल पे प्रिंट करेगा, क्या प्रिंट करने वाला है ये. as it is a constant, तो इसका it is same as that, ये similar scope रखता है let की तरह. So var is function scoped, let is block scoped, const is also block scoped. The only difference being const में हम लोग reassign नहीं कर सकते value, but in case of let हम लोग reassign करते हैं value. So this 4 and 5 question, these are exactly same questions that has been asked in like good product based companies. मतलब interviews में these questions are very much repeated. This const वाला question is actually not that important because ये मान के चलते सबको आता होगा, because const पे कुछ ऐसा like there is no such non-intuitive part to it. But ये 4 और 5 में errors जो throw up होते हैं, you have to keep these errors in mind कि exactly क्या error आएगा, because your interview will be based on that. कि you're exactly have to name कि error का नाम क्या होगा, what error actually throws up. So this 4 and 5 are very important question based on interviews में क्या पूछा जाता है. And this const also you can give this question a try, but this is not very well tested in interviews because it's a very easy question. अगर मैं pi को access के अंदर हो बाहर हो, this will also be 3.4 because 3.4 से डिफाइन किया मैंने. हाँ, अगर मैंने console.log ऊपर कर दिया फिर pi किया तो that will be a reference error, जहां मैंने पहले भी I have defined this concept. ठीक है. And then I'm entering a block. If true, मतलब it always enters block scope. I have already I'm reiterating the thing कि const पे block scope होता है, तो मैं अगर इसमें block में define किया and console कर रहा हूँ तो वही return करेगा. तो 3.14 100 and बाहर करूंगा तो it will be a non-defined error. तो like no need of like stressing this up because ये same चीज़ ही like we have been doing in the previous questions. Cool. तो पहले क्या आ रहा है, 3.14 आ रहा है, then 100, फिर a not defined error आ रहा है, max error, reference error, variable is not defined आ रहा है, which variable, max is not defined. Then another catch is const पे अगर हम it is already I have also told one more thing कि ये non reassignable होता है because this is not reassignable. If I have assigned a value cat, I cannot assign a value dog to a say constant animal is there. I cannot assign a value dog and then in the next second I'm like thinking of doing it cat. So that thing is not possible in JavaScript or any particular language. तो जो भी हमने assign किया है that value holds for the rest of your block. So as long as this language variable is living, this will always be JavaScript and not Python. So language equals to Python कभी हो ही नहीं पाएगा because language मतलब JavaScript. So JavaScript equals to Python is not valid. So this will also throw error called this will also throw compiler internal error होता है. So the internal main run module, this is an error that has been thrown. तो because ये non reassignable होता है तो internal error throw up कर देगा because JavaScript को मैं कभी Python में in the mean course I cannot change a const variable, तो उसका value जो रहेगा I have initialized the value, तो we have to follow or we have to like use the same value variable the value of the variable across the program or across the function जो भी तुमने define किया. So that's all about scope. And Srishty like एक बार check कर लो the people who have been answering and like the slides and all.
Yeah, they are. Shubham, Dattatra, Vishi, I have noted.
So like what we can do is like open the JS's weird wala link and like tell people to answer the questions and actual swag distributing will be done on based on that. So like you may open the link.
Okay, wait a second, I'm just charging.
Yeah, cool.
Let me share. Cool. Okay. As Arya mentioned, after this we'll be learning hoisting, JavaScript hoisting. But before that, we have an interesting game for you all, and we expect that like at first we
Like
had thought that
we
we'll give the links to
yeah
you
we
and you will play it, but there are
yeah
25 questions. So instead of each playing that individually, we'll play it in the meet itself. Okay. Rishi, undefined meaning the variable you are trying to access is being defined. So it has
yeah.
no
So there is
memory
a
as
this is a very important concept. Undefined और NMA difference होते हैं. Undefined मतलब हमने value का define ही नहीं किया है, तो we are trying to access something that has not been defined. मतलब it is not in the memory and उसका pointer null reference pointer is null because when we are trying to reference or an address which is not defined, तो उधर we get a thing called undefined. और nan मतलब it is not there. Nan मतलब there is no value, but undefined मतलब उसका जो reference है, the pointer pointing to the address, it is pointing to something which is not defined. तो उधर कुछ है ही नहीं, बट तुम उसको पॉइंट कर रहे हो, तुम उसको रेफरेंस कर रहे हो, तो दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड मेमोरी एड्रेस पे अनडिफाइंड होना. So there is a difference between nan and undefined.
okay. So this is the link. I'll be sharing this link in the meet, but we'll play this in the meet itself. Should we start? And yeah, we'll need you to turn your mics on and answer because I'll not be able to come to the message box and read it. So, can anyone turn their mic on and just say if you're ready to start the game? Okay, Bishi.
Yes, Didi, you can start.
Okay, cool. Let's start. What is true plus false? We have done these kind of questions, right? We first did true plus true, and that gave
One,
us two.
One.
Yeah,
Okay,
very yeah.
okay. Let's click on
one
one.
only.
Cool. What is the length of this one? There are no elements, but there are trailing commas. What do you think is the length of this array? Make a guess. There are 20 or like 23 more questions to come yet. Okay, three. Don't type it in the message box because I'll have to come here again to open it. So just
Please say out your
say
answers.
it out. Yeah. Okay, this question you know. Arya explained this. Adding two arrays. What is it? Like say first, second, third. Which
Second
one?
option.
Second option.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Who was it?
Shubham. I am
Shubham.
noting them.
Shubham.
Yeah, I am noting them.
Okay. Cool. What is it? Is it true or false? 0.2 plus 0.1.
This is
False.
basically a revision of everything that we have done. So yeah.
Okay. What is 10 comma 2?
Good question.
Let's check it out. 10 comma 2. It means
This is
2.
something we have done कि अगर 10, 2 है तो this is very similar to and operator जो मैंने समझाया था. This is something related to short circuiting, so you can like go on the docs. We'll be sharing the resources. What
This is
would
an
this be?
empty string, and I think empty string returns to 0, but this is
False.
not an empty string and not an empty string. What do you think it is?
False.
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 Okay, let's check. Yeah, it is false. What is plus? Not. This is used for
One.
not an empty array.
One.
1. Okay. %, 0.00005. Percent is basically a JavaScript method which converts the floating number, whatever the argument is, to an integer.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you what is percent. Okay, let us see if I put 1.4, then percent of 1.4 is 1. Let me clear this. Now percent of 2.0005, it's also 5, but percent of something that is 0.0005, it's actually giving us 5 and not 0. Can you think of the reason behind it? Like, what can be the reason? If we take 0.5, it's 0. Percent of 0.5 is 0, but if it's 0.0005, it's giving us 5. What do you think can be the reason behind it? Like, why is it giving 5?
You can even search up the
I
answers.
think it is getting converted to string,
It is
and
getting
then
converted to string.
like the number in the string format is something different. Like something like in 5e and something.
Yeah,
So when we'll parse it, it will show the first part of the string.
Correct.
yeah.
ठीक है.
Let's check. Yeah, see, this is the string. Like 0.0005 is getting converted to 5 into e minus 10. Minus 10 matlab 5 into 10 to power minus 10. So that's why, and this thing is showing us 5. And that's the reason why it's the percent is giving us 5. Is everyone clear on that? So as Ruti said, this one is getting converted to this string. On to the next question. True is equal. This is a boolean. This one, first one is boolean. True is equals to. Next, string true. Will they be equal?
False.
Okay.
False.
False.
So this
Okay.
is
0,
exactly why
10.
एक सेशन में नहीं होगा. So we are having a series of sessions. कि कुछ ज़्यादा ही weird है.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. 10 minus 3. What do you think it is?
There's a catch to it. Zero भी है. So like keep that thing in
Hmm.
mind.
5 only, I guess.
5. Okay. Now empty string minus empty string.
This is also we have
9.
done, right? कि जब minus minus होता है plus plus होता है. So
Yeah.
like
Zero.
okay.
Okay. Let's check.
क्यों लग रहा है तुम्हें?
9.
क्यों लग रहा है तुम्हें zero है?
लाइक वो जो एम्प्टी स्ट्रिंग है वो जीरो है,
Hmm.
तो
अच्छा.
लाइक जब जीरो माइनस जीरो टाइप.
Okay. There are like बहुत सारे questions है इसके बाद, so थोड़ा let's hurry up. Null plus 0.
0.
0. Okay.
0.
0 divided by 0. This is obvious, like we all know.
So this is
Then
not gonna be infinity. So हाँ.
Yeah.
Nan. It's
I guess nan
Nan.
होगा.
And
So nan ही होगा.
Yeah.
Correct.
then
1 divided by 0 greater than 10. Uh, this is power. This is used to raised power. 10 raised to power 1000. So it will be boolean, either true or false or syntax error or something.
Yeah. Let's try this out.
It's giving false. So 1
So because
is not
into
greater than 10 power.
so like one side is nan that we can already see, then the other side is not nan. Like we Srishty, what you can do is like break up the two sides and like show these people कि एक side पे
हाँ,
infinity आएगा, एक side पे nan आएगा, right? So as we already
हाँ.
know कि infinity और nan अलग चीज है.
Actually, both sides
Like
are giving infinity, but still,
तो ये
first one is greater than. This is again
let's solve.
another weird behavior.
ये क्यों होता है? Like I don't even know ये कैसे होता है. These people have designed something very innovative. I guess that might be the reason क्योंकि हमने ऐसे nan not equal to nan I have done that कि object dot dot is जब करवा रहा था then I have mentioned कि triple equal to में भी वो नहीं होता है. So I guess that is the correct answer कि infinity और infinity तो कभी compare होता नहीं. So I guess that is the very viable answer to this question. बाकी एक बार move on करते हैं.
What do you think
ये तो
about
ये
true plus plus?
this is just simple
One.
question.
True plus plus is 1. You sure?
Check कर लो.
Error.
Error. Okay. Okay, syntax error.
Syntax error आ रहा
Empty
है.
string minus 1.
This is not a reference error that you might have seen, right? ये क्यों होता है? ओके तो ठीक है तो इधर हम लोग ट्रू क्या करते हैं ना सो एज व्हाट इज समथिंग दैट कैन बी अ सोल्यूशन टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज दैट अगर मेरे को इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाए तो व्हाट आई वुड आंसर इज कि ट्रू को मैं 1 मान सकता हूं एंड 1 प्लस प्लस डजंट मेक एनी सेंस ठीक है बिकॉज 1 प्लस प्लस डजंट मेक एनी सेंस टू मी बिकॉज एक लिटरल तुम पोस्टफिक्स लगा रहे हो सो दैट डजंट रिटर्न एनी कंस्ट्रक्टिव सो
Yeah,
1 प्लस
exactly.
प्लस रिटर्न infinity तो अगर infinity nan जो भी है
It
so
gives
that
the
is
same
not a reference
syntax error.
yeah, it is not a reference error because मैं कुछ refer नहीं कर रहा हूँ so the only error that is
Yeah.
available मतलब इधर syntax error is a very like common thing if I am given an option I will always answer syntax क्योंकि
Because
literal
true
पे
has a
true
constant value. That is 1. It
true
can't be
true हो
changed.
गया false हो गया zero हो गया 1 हो गया these are literal so literal पे हम लोग expressions postfix prefix नहीं लगा सकते so yeah
Yeah. Now coming to this question, as discussed earlier, the empty string returns 0. So 0 minus 1, this will give a number, an integer that is minus 1. Okay, null minus 0 plus string 0. What do you think it
0 0.
is? 0 0. Okay, let's go with that. True plus string true minus 0.
this is a string true
Two.
ये देखो this is a string true and not
True.
a simple
Yeah.
true
You are saying no, there is no true option.
Two. Two.
He said
True.
true.
Okay.
क्यों होगा like any answer or any solution कि ये क्यों होगा ऐसा
Okay, not 5 plus not a 5. What do you think it is?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah, 0 is the right
zero
answer because any integer, anything which has any
zero में
value
convert
other
होगा
than 0 is stored in Boolean, it's stored as 1. Uh, and then this 1, not 1, that is not true. 5 is always like any value has Boolean value true. So not true, this will be false. False matlab 0, right? And this will be false. 0 plus 0, it will be 0. Again, empty array and empty array.
So let's Srishti, what we can do is कि 20 questions तक ही करते हैं. Let's not go more than that because
How many are remaining? Like how many have
okay
you done?
25 है क्या? Okay cool 25 questions है ठीक है cool.
Okay, this one's trickier.
This is a simple
और
question
कितने?
आ रही है.
Yeah,
This is हाँ और 4 ही question है like you can try them.
yeah. This
43.
anyone who can do this, I'll note down the
30,
उसका नाम.
33,
Last 4 questions
33.
are up to you guys decide. तुम लोग
33.
आंसर करके decide करो. क्या
Yeah, because first it will go by step. पहले it will add 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3, and we know 3 plus string 3 is that will be 33. You are right. Type of nan. Yeah. What is the type of nan? Nan
Number.
is not a
Number.
number.
हाँ.
Yeah. This is not a object or anything. It is a number.
But not a
Undefined
number
plus
is also a
false.
number. ठीक है?
Yeah, not a number.
Zero. Zero.
0. Okay, but it's not a number. Like
Nan.
it's giving an yeah.
Mm.
Oh, and minus 0. Again, this is 0, right? Minus 0 is 0. But empty string is truthy value. So if we have truthy value and 0, what will that be?
Nothing. C option.
Hmm. So as we
What
have
would this
discussed
be?
earlier, ki if the first value is truthy, that will return the first value. So it will be empty string. Okay, this one's weird. Giving 0. Let's not discuss that because we have a lot of topics remaining to discuss. We got
So
24
yeah,
out
yeah.
of 25
एक second.
correct.
So,
That's
one
good.
second, one second, one second. Vishy has something to ask. Vishy, like 24th question में क्या था? Because it was like an empty string was compared with and zero, as far as I remember. एक second. It was empty array, empty string array and minus zero. So अगर इधर अगर we are not defining anything, तो what I had said and operator में first operator is not there or it is false or it is empty, तो first operator ही print होगा. इसलिए we were printing say a empty string operator, empty string single quotes. So that was the answer. अगर और में it is just the reverse और and में क्या होता है अगर कुछ नहीं है तो we are printing the first argument, अगर कुछ है तो we are printing the second argument. That completely depends on the first argument. तो पूरा first argument के basis पे we are understanding the answer. इसीलिए उसको we are giving the name short circuiting. तो फर्स्ट आर्गुमेंट पे कुछ है नहीं तो वी आर उसी को फर्स्ट आर्गुमेंट को ही रिटर्न कर रहे हैं व्हिच इज एम्प्टी. सो दैट्स इट. आई गेस यही पूछना था तुम्हें.
In case of or, it's giving minus zero. If you
हाँ,
check.
और के केस पे तो माइनस जीरो देगा ही ना. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग. ये जस्ट उल्टा हो जाता है. जस्ट कीप वन इन माइंड एंड द एग्जैक्ट इट विल बी एग्जैक्टली द ऑपोजिट बिकॉज़ दैट्स हाउ और वर्क्स राइट. सो दैट्स इट. इक्वल टू करोगे दैट इज ट्रू. ट्रिपल इक्वल टू करोगे दैट्स ट्रू. बट ऑब्जेक्ट डॉट इज करोगे तो दैट विल बी फॉल्स. जीरो और माइनस जीरो को. दैट इज अ थिंग. तो सृष्टि व्हाट यू कैन डू इसके होस्टिंग थोड़ा समझा दो एंड
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Anmol can take it.
Wait.
So
Then there is what the one question which we got wrong is this one.
how many
Which
questions did
one
we
is
get
it?
wrong?
Only one question. We got
Okay, cool,
24
cool.
correct out of 25.
Great,
It's
great, great.
actually good. Good score.
Yeah.
Empty array plus empty array. We said empty string, but it's actually empty array. Cool.
Okay,
Moving
that's a
on.
very good revision even for us because हमें भी नहीं पता था काफी answers. So yeah, so hoisting try out करो like just Srishti just उसको 5 minute में like explain them
Moving on
because we have
to
already gone through
JavaScript.
this thing. Yeah, we have already gone through
Yeah,
this
yeah.
now. So like,
Let's see, what is JavaScript hoisting? So as discussed earlier, what has happened in any other language? Before we declare at first, initially we declare any variable. Then let me show this. Okay, conventionally we first declare a variable, then we assign some value to it, and then if we read that out, it will give us the value. Let's run this conventional function, this weirdo function. We'll comment it out. Okay, is given 101. So it's actually printing the value of the variable. What did we do? जैसा हर कोई language में होता है C या C++ and any other language. First we declared the variable, then assigned the value, and now if we try to print the value, it's giving us the value, actual value, which is 101. Now, what is hoisting? In JavaScript, there are cases where you can assign the value first. Like we have declared it later. There is no point in assigning value to something which has not been declared, right? But हमने assign की value x को. X has not been declared yet. It is declared at the end of the function. Let's run this function. What do you think it will be? Will it give any error or anything? Undefined. Okay, let's check. Uh, who said that? She said it will
Vishy,
give undefined. Let's run this.
just give them a
Well,
brief walkthrough of hoisting,
yeah, it's
Srishti. Like,
giving
कैसे console.
what?
Just give
Yeah,
them
wait.
a theory part.
It's actually giving 5. So yeah, it is actually printing the value. Even if it assigned the value first and we hadn't declared the variable, still it did not give us undefined and it gave us the value. Why is it happening? Let's try that out with let. Like there are three keywords, right? As Arya discussed, there is var, let, and const. Let and const were introduced in ECMAScript. We'll discuss that later. But yeah, usually other languages have only one keyword, but here we have three keywords. Let's run this. Yeah, now it's giving reference error and it's saying cannot access X before initialization. Before initialization, we cannot use X because here we are using X. We are getting that on line number 14. Line number 14, it's giving error. Why is it happening? Why was it possible with var keyword and why is it not possible with let, or let's try with const? It's giving the same error. It's not possible to do with let or const. But when we are using var, we are actually able to access that variable before declaring it. Now, why is it happening? Here, let me show. Okay, so there are three keywords, right? Var, let, and const. And in var, as we can see, can it be hoisted? Yeah, var can be hoisted, let cannot, and even const let can be hoisted, var can be hoisted. So what is hoisting now? How to use hoisting? We have seen it. Like we can use the variable before declaring. So basically, you can use any variable, even function, before declaring. बाद में जाके you can declare it later. And how is it possible? Because if we see the compiler, it takes the variable. Then if we assign any value to it or add or any kind of operation, we do it after declaring. How is it possible in the case of JavaScript, right? Okay, so how to use hoisting? We can assign first, but it's not possible with the let explanation. The hoisting allows variables declared with var and not those what declared with let or const. The variable using let or const are hoisted but cannot be accessed before their declaration. But what is hoisting? Okay, hoisting is a JavaScript default behavior. What has happened? There is an execution panel, and there is this code panel. So what happens is when the usually the C++, or any other languages, they have compilers. These are compiling languages. But JavaScript uses its own JavaScript engine or Node.js to run the program, right? So what happens is it goes through your entire code, and जहाँ पे भी declaration है, जहाँ पे भी variable है, वो पहले जाके it moves to the top of the execution context. तो execution context के top पे सारे variables आ जाते हैं. So even if you have declared it later, वो पहले आ जाता है. Like यहाँ पे देखो variable x जो उसका global scope है, variable x has been declared outside of the function. पहले बाद में declare किया है, but still we are able to use it inside. यहाँ पे operation perform किया है, we are able to access x plus 5. Uh, so we are giving that, assigning that value to g. So x has been accessed before declaring it. And when did we declare it? After the function. So what has happened? यहाँ पे image में दिख रहा होगा. This is the execution context, and सारे variables. Whenever JavaScript Node.js is going over the code, it will check कि यहाँ पे declarations कहाँ कहाँ है, right? तो जब code जा रहा है, it will move on. Variable x, it won't check कि यहाँ पे error आ रहा है या नहीं. It will just go down. यहाँ पे दिखेगा कि x has been declared. एक्स डिक्लेयर हो गया. अब ये क्या करेगा? एक्स यहाँ पे सेव होगा एग्जीक्यूशन कॉन्टेक्स्ट के सबसे ऊपर, या फिर इनिशियली सबसे ऊपर वो वेरिएबल सेव हो गए. देखो वेरिएबल्स जी एंड एक्स सबसे पहले स्टोर हो गए. उसके बाद फंक्शन सेव होगा कि फू नाम का एक फंक्शन है, वो यहाँ पे सेव होगा. उसके बाद लेटर वो फिर से चेक करेगा कि ओके एक्स की वैल्यू हमने एक्स सेव कर लिया, एक्स को एक मेमोरी अलग कर दी. उसके बाद इट विल चेक कि एक्स की वैल्यू क्या थी. ठीक है, तो हम एक्स बाद में यूज कर सकते हैं, x कभी भी यूज कर सकते हैं. बाद में it will iterate over it and then it will assign the value to that variable. So this is what happens, and this is what allows us to declare the variable later after accessing it. So you can access it anytime, even before declaring. And it's only possible with var. It's not कि let and const के साथ नहीं होता. Even those variables are saved in variables at the top of the execution context, but JavaScript just doesn't allow them to access them before declaration. Okay, so this is the image. Let is const as the name suggests, the const is constant value, so you cannot reassign or reassign value or redeclare. Is it reassignable? No. Coming to TDD set, I already explained that. Okay, the hoisting is not given. Yeah, can it be hoisted? Yeah, only var variables declared with var can be hoisted, others can't be. Okay, now moving to the ECMAScript. As I explained earlier, that let, var, and const are introduced in ES6. Before that, we didn't have let or const. We only had var. अच्छा किसी और को कोई doubt है in hoisting? You can just put that in message box. Is everyone clear on what is hoisting? And why does JavaScript allows us to access the variable before declaration?
Context कैसे store में कैसे हो रहे context and all, like that is the main thing.
Are we clear? Should we move on? Yes, Shruti. Others, if you have any doubt, either raise your hand. Wish yes. Okay. I hope everyone's clear and everyone's got what I said. Moving on. So this was hoisting. Hoisting के बाद मैंने बोला कि let and cost were not there before 2015. They were introduced. So what is this version? So JavaScript के versions को we call that ECMAScript, and the versions before prior to 2020 we used to name them as ES6, ES1. So the one released in 2020 2015 is named as ES6 because that was the sixth version. So we have versions like ES1, ES2, and ES, like similarly ES6. The After that, after 2016, we started naming as ECMAScript 2016, ECMAScript 2017. So okay, ECMAScript is a scripting language. The sixth edition, that is ECMAScript 6, ES6, we call it ES6, that's the acronym. It was later renamed to ECMAScript 2015. But what did it introduce? So हर एक version में कुछ features add होता है, right? So what did ECMAScript introduce? That gave us classes. Yeah, previously JavaScript में classes नहीं थे. Like any other language, unlike any other language, JavaScript did not have class. We had object constructor functions, object constructor to build objects. For iterator, for of loop, we have for and while loop. But there is one more. If you know Python, there is a for in function. You can use for in Python. Similarly, we have for of loop in JavaScript. It also gave us arrow functions, then typed arrays, collection map sets, promises, and proxies, many other things. Coming to, okay, ECMAScript added let and const. It gave us array.find method, array.find index method, like it gives the index of any element in the array. And what are the new features in ES6? The let keyword, the const keyword mentioned earlier, arrow functions, and this is what are these three dots? Does anyone know? If you know JavaScript, or if you can make a guess,
So
what are
Vishy,
these
yeah,
dots?
that is the spread operator. Yeah,
Did she answer it?
yeah, Vishy and Shubham has answered. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That is a spread operator. There are other things like for of, map, set objects, and classes. As I said, we didn't have classes earlier, so classes were introduced. But today in this session, we have already discussed let and const. Now, in further session, like in this session itself, we are going to discuss arrow and the spread operator. Yeah, let, var, const, arrow, and spread. Okay, in ECMA, okay, again in later versions in 2018, they also gave us rest and spread of properties. In 2020, nullish coalescing, that will be discussed in further lectures. Now moving on, introducing let, var, const, and their scopes.
And
This has been
so this
explained
is the
earlier.
theory portion. So this is just for your reference. So this is exactly what we have been doing through the examples and the Weird JS website questions. So you can go through the solutions of the questions that we have actually run on the terminal. So this is the theory and the solutions. So Srishti may skip this part.
Yeah, we'll share this PPT with you
Yeah, we'll
later.
be
We'll either
dropping
add
this
this in the
PPT.
community group, or we'll share that in the link will be shared. Okay, these are the solutions. You can read them out. The solutions for the scope questions. Now coming to the scope. The scope is explained for different keywords. Coming here. Okay,
So these
now all
questions have
those
also been
questions
defined.
here, we have not explained the reason behind it. We'll be giving it. Why was true plus true? So now we are going to actually explain the weird behavior. Like why was it that way? Because previously we just explained the questions. Now here are the reasons. Okay. So why is true plus true equals to two? Because JavaScript considers true as one, true as an integer one. So number or true is actually, the value is actually 1. That's why whenever I say true plus true, it actually adds 1 plus 1. Okay, that is the first rule. Second rule, object or what is object dot is? It basically compares the two values and if they have same type or not, because double equals to checks the values, triple equals to also checks the type, the data type, right? The type of the variable. Now, this is the purpose of object dot is method. Coming to number minimal value, this has been explained that it is always greater than 0. it is the minimum, but it is always greater than 0. And JavaScript, like again, hello and word, because word is a truthy value, and when it comes to there are truthy values, the first one is returned. Moving on. Okay, banana. Why did it give banana? So BA and any string, whether it's hashtag, anything, or anything, any string. But if we have plus string, that is not a number because JavaScript cannot perform any operation on it. So it considers that as an NaN or not a number. So B plus A, that becomes B, and then NaN becomes NaN A. So it becomes banana. The string is banana. Similar thing, foo plus plus a string, what a plus is added, like the addition increment operator for any string that returns results in not a number. So foo plus not a number gives foo and n. Adding arrays, this has been explained. The 3 and 4 actually get converted to string, and string of 3 plus string of 4 becomes 34. That's why we have 1 2 comma 34 and 4 5. Again,
Okay,
this
so Srishti,
number yeah,
Srishti, so like, we have already like discussed these questions, na?
discussed,
So
yeah,
like,
okay.
so
Oh
ये
yeah, 2
these people
plus
are, I guess these people are like thorough with these concepts. तो एक काम कर सकते हैं, इसको ड्रॉप तो कर ही
we
देंगे,
are
उसके अलावा
skipping,
like
we are skipping.
हाँ, these questions have already been done guys, so like session 6.0004 क्यों आता है and all, nan उसका type object number होता है, so this we have done. तो अगर उस वो कर ले क्या arrow function से like can Anmol take
Okay,
it
yeah,
up
yeah.
like, because like
Okay.
you can just go through the slides, अगर कुछ भी uncovered है तो like we can take this up, अगर कुछ भी uncovered है बाकी explanation will be dropping it up.
Okay.
एक बार देख
Now
ले,
moving on. I think all of these are
everything has been
explained.
covered, yeah, absolutely,
Banana and this true plus true. This has been already been
everything
explained. Object
true and all,
zero
everything has
point
been
1
discussed,
plus 0.3. Okay.
correct. So
Funny
math
math
has been discussed,
is
when
okay.
there will be
Funny
a
math. There are
concatenation
few
there,
rules.
yeah, yeah.
There are few rules. Whenever you're adding any string plus, why did it happen? Like we saw that string of 1 plus 1 gave us 11, but why did it happen? Because in JavaScript there is a rule that whenever you're adding string and a number, it adds them as a string concatenation. Okay, so a string of 1 plus 1 will give us a string that is 11. Now whenever you are subtracting, that will be converted to a number, that will be what numerical operation. So any string minus the number will perform a numerical operation, that is a subtraction, and that will give us 11 minus 1, that will convert that into number. 11 minus 1 will give us 1. Again I explained 1 plus 1 gives 11, the string. Okay, and everything is explained. 2 to 2 string minus, okay, whenever you're doing subtraction, that will convert into number, and whenever you're adding, that will convert into string.
The string,
So number
correct.
plus number is addition. Number minus string minus number will give us a number. Okay. So string plus here we have given string plus string will concat these two strings. String plus number will also concat. But if you are doing string minus number, then that will give us. This is the
Yeah.
relatable meme. You must have come up, like you must have encountered many of these.
So this is
Coming to
what,
the arrow
this is what हम
functions.
लोग यही पूरा किया था. So like Anmol, please take it up from arrow and spread.
Yeah.
So am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Yeah. Wait a second, I will share the screen. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it is. So we will be taking on the topic that is arrow function. Now arrow function was introduced in ES6. Now what's the need of arrow function? Like why do we need this? So the main thing, the benefit that we get in arrow function from the normal regular function is that we can write the code like in a single line we can write the code, and it is easier for the person who is seeing the code to understand it. So first we will be seeing that the basic way we write this. So we declare a variable that is like const name. Then we have to write a parameter inside parenthesis. Then we have to write the expression like from where we get the output. So the first example we are taking is that so first we are seeing for a normal function like for a regular function. So this is an add function. We are taking two parameters that are a and b, and this is giving an output that is by adding both a and b. So let's check how it's working. This is the function that this one is the regular function. So let's check it. So sum of 1 and 3 we are getting 4. Now like we are now transiting to arrow function. So what are the changes we are expecting? So what we did is that we first defined a variable like arrow add function. Then we are using a parenthesis. Inside it we are adding two parameters, that is a and b, and then adding it. So there must be no change in the output. Like the way we are writing is being changing, but the output must not be changing. Let's check it. So if we log it, so we are getting sum of 1 and 3. This is 4. Now arrow function is a very important way of writing, because it not only makes it easier to understand the code, but also is very beneficial if you are working in like projects, like if you are working on backend and frontend projects. We regularly use this type of concept. Now, if we are using a single parameter, then there is no need of using a parenthesis. So we can skip that parenthesis part. Like here we are using const double is equals to a, and the expression is doubling that value. So for 5, double of 5, we must get the value 10. So let's check it. So double of 5, we are getting 10, which is right. So now you have to note one thing is that this like the parenthesis, we can like remove this parenthesis only in case of a single parameter. If we try to do the same thing in this case, like where we are having two parameters, that is a and b. So wait a sec.
So, like, somebody has dropped a question. Vishy has asked some
Yeah,
questions. Is there any fundamental difference?
yeah.
Yeah, fundamental difference exists. Uh, See, when a function is defined, uska binding karke there is a concept, and we are also having a function creates an object. An object has certain prototypes. So there is a certain difference between prototypes that are defined in arrow function and common functions before ECMAScript. So, like, there is a difference between the context and the binding of how the function is binded in a program. So I guess according to my knowledge, that is what it is. So like if you want to know
Like
further this
basically
and
we
on
are
this,
using
we
arrow
will be
function
trying
to
to.
make the code easier, like writing of
It
the
is more
code easier.
readable. Like
That's
the
the
code
main
becomes more
concept.
readable because when you will be using
Yeah,
the map and filter functions, so like we don't like specifically we take in like arrow functions to make the code more readable, and it also has certain
like
extra properties added to
yeah,
that object.
if you are writing
So
many functions that may cause it to be noisy, so to decrease
correct.
that, so we are using this so that the code will
ठीक
be more it will have more clarity. So when we did this, we were getting error. So like missing initializer in the constant. What was the reason? Because this was because we were not using that parenthesis. So the next thing is that if we are using if we are not giving any parameter, in that case also you have to give that parenthesis. If we try to remove it, we will get this we will get an error. Uh, so here we are getting this error. So unexpected token. So like here we had not added this. So due to which it was unable to recognize this arrow function. This function you gives a console gives hello in the console. So when we run it, we get hello in the console. So the next thing we will be discussing is about like we can do the same thing in case of an object. Like if we want, we can pass the parameter inside an object. For example, here we are. This is an object. So now, if let wait a sec. Now, so we are consoling it on the terminal. So let's check. So value of a here is okay. So we must get one okay. So this is the thing. So yeah, here the object in place of a, the parameter we are getting okay. So this is the thing. Now the concept that Arya was telling previously about what is the problem in we are facing an arrow function. So for example, this is an code. Like if we try to run this, let's run. Let's run. We will understand. undefined with ball. But what we were expecting, like the name given is Sam and age is 2. So what we were expecting is that I am this dot name. So we were expecting Sam. So the context we were expecting was for this object, but rather we are getting undefined. The reason behind this is that in case of arrow operator, the it takes the context as the surrounding environment, that is the total the complete environment in which the node is running, and in this node there is nothing name and age defined, so of course it will give undefined. So I am undefined, age undefined with ball. This was the answer when we were using that arrow function. Now what else we can do? So for example, the best way to do this is that we can use a normal regular expression. When we are using regular expression, the context is given as an object. So when we run it, we are getting I am Sam, age 2 with ball. So now the another thing I will talk is that if you are aware with the concept of dot filter, dot map, dot reduce, these are some like small inbuilt JavaScript function that can be used to solve problems like filter. Like filter help, like in this function, uh, the e is giving e divided by 2 is equals to 0. It means that it will filter out all the elements which are divisible by 2 or else which are even numbers. Now dot map, the what will dot map do is that it will just multiply all the elements of the array by 2. And dot reduce, its simple thing is that we are inside the function, we are doing total plus e. So what it will do is that it will give the total sum. So when we log it, let's log it. So when we log it, we are getting 52. So what it's basically doing is that it is taking 2, 4, 6, and 8. Then it's making a square of them. Yeah, it's multiplying it by 2. Sorry. So this will be 4. Then this will be 8. Then this will be 12, and this will be sorry. This will be 16. So this 1, 2, 4. Yeah. Oh yeah. 2, 6. Yeah. Once you submit, you will get 52. Now the next thing is that we will be talking is the spread operators. Now let's go to the slides. So I think you are clear with all of this concept. If you have any doubt, you can ask it in the chat box, or you can turn on the mic to ask that question. So do you have any doubts? Can you reply in the chat box? Yeah.
Okay, Anmol, you may move on. अगर doubt नहीं है किसी को तो तू spread operator पे you can continue. Only difference is
So
a
the next thing.
context. हाँ, so ये कि context में बस there is a difference. बाकी
Okay, Vish
So
is asking
basically,
how are you running only that part of the code? Is there any extension? Did you
so
just run
I'm
only
using code
selected part?
runner extension. You can also use it like here in the extension. You have to just type code runner. So there is an this extension, wait, code runner. So just install it, and here you have the option to run the code. Now the another thing you can do is that for running this code, you can add a shortcut. Like there is an option to add shortcut. So I am using Shift A. You can use as per your like convenience. Okay. So let's go on to the next topic, that is spread operator. Now the spread operator is one of the most, like, it's a magical tool. If you are using JavaScript, then spread operator is one of the most fascinating concept. So it makes many concepts very easier. Like you can do many things which you have to like you have to do write 2 3 line of code. Now you can do that same thing in one line of code. For example, if there is an array and the element inside it is a and b. So if I say you to like log the output of this array, So the normal way to do this is like use an for loop. So let's use an for loop. So I'm getting A and B. This is one of the way to do this. But there is an another way by using spread operator. So wait a second. Let's do it using spread operator. So we are getting the same answer. Now what does a spread operator do? Does is that it makes a shallow copy of that array. So what do we mean by shallow copy is that that if we change any value in that array, like if I am adding an another C, like this is not an something that is constant, like once declare then it can't change. So like if I do it once again, now I am getting C. So this is the thing. So this is mean by this is what we mean by shallow copy. So now this can be used in different ways. For example, you must be using an inbuilt function to concatenate. So instead of it you can use this, like there is let there be an array 2. So like inside it you have two like two variables C and D, not variables, objects. Then you can put the values from here inside this by using this spread operator. So you can use this use this an array to concatenate. So for example, for this we are getting the output. Uh, so so array gives A, B, and C, and this gives C and D. So we are getting a total output of 5 elements A, B, C, C, D. So this is the thing. Now that's the spread operator also works for an object. So let's check this one. So if we run this, so initially this was an original object where x was 1 and y was 2. Now we declared a new object. Now this had the properties of original object that were previously present, and another that is z equals to 3. So when we console it, we are getting this output. So the new object has the output has the values from the original object and the one we have added later. So this is the thing. Now the another thing is that you must have dealt with a function, like you have to find the minimum number. So here is a better way to do this. Now we know there is an mathematical inbuilt function in JavaScript that finds a minimum. So what we did is that there was an array, there's number. So we have 1, 2, 3 minus 1. So we have to find the minimum number. So we defined a variable that is number that will store that minimum number. So what we did is that we are using this inbuilt function as math.min. We did math.min, and inside it we used this number array as a spread operator. So once we so by doing so, it finds the minimum inside all of this. So the minimum is of course -1. So when we will console this, we get -1. So this is the thing. Now the another thing is that in case of strings, if we have a string, now we want to convert it into an like into an array with every character as an element in it. So what we do is that we are defining an char array, and inside this array we are putting the values of greeting by using the spread operator. So this is so the output we will be getting is so these are the elements. These are the character elements inside this. So this is a way by which you can understand how does that spread operator works. Like it gives all the elements, like these characters, as a elements in this array. So this is the thing. Wait a sec. So we have discussed how do we do it in function calls. So the next thing we have to discuss is in case of destructuring. So this is a very important, it plays a very important role when it comes to destructuring, and we use it like proactively. We use it in backend and front-end projects. For example, you are defining let numbers equals to an number is an array with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are basically destructuring it. So how we are destructuring it is that we are first giving it first, we are giving an element first, and after that we are using a spread operator for the rest of the elements. So the console.log first will give the first element, that will be one. So let's check it if it is giving or not. Yeah, so we are getting this. So we are getting one. Now, when we are using the spread operator, that so what it will do is that except that first one, that was one. After it, it will use all two, three, four, five, as in what? So rest must be an array. So using that we made an spread operator. So when we will do rest, we will get that array. So what will be the output? So the output will be that array. So the output is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Uh, so this was all about spread operators. Now, if you have any doubt, you can ask them in the chat box or through mic.
Okay, cool. So now we are at the end of today's session. किसी को कोई doubt है regarding arrow function, spread operator या anything? अभी पूछ
गाइस
सकते हैं.
बेसिकली अगर चाहिए तो हम ये सब कोड का जो फाइल है वो भी शेयर कर देंगे, तुम अपने लोकल में रन करा सकते.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many of the attendees are not from NITR, so I'm dropping the link of GDSC community. You may join that.
You will be given a
be
QR,
sharing-
so like they will be getting the QR, no? Those people can scan them up and yeah.
Right now
सृष्टि
I'm
वो
dropping the
कम्युनिटी पहले
link.
उनको ज्वाइन करा ले वही. हाँ बस सही.
Yeah,
हाँ,
exactly.
हाँ.
Those who are not from NIT, I've dropped the link. I'll just pin it. That is the link of community group. You may join the community.
So we will be sharing all the resources in the community.
A PPT and the code files that we have sorted.
And if you have any doubt, you can just ping in the community as well. I think Vishy and some Dattatra are not from NITR, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll also be sharing the PPT in the group. If you have any doubt, you can just raise your hand and ask. We'll be here for 15 more minutes. Okay, someone has joined.
So let's keep it till 8:30. So tab tak, if you have any doubt, please keep on posting. If nahi hai to like it's fine.
You can leave the meet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, QR has been given.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, those people scan the QR if it's there. You may scan the QR if you just want to join the group. Even if you're not from NIT, the group, it's not an issue.
Okay, so if you don't have any doubt or anything, you may just leave. The session has been concluded. Thank you for joining, and I hope you got to learn something. We discussed a lot of things. It was good. I'd love to connect you guys over LinkedIn or Twitter if it's possible.
So we'll be conducting more such sessions. Like hope to see you guys there too. And this was the very basic thing that we are done. So iske baad we will be conducting sessions. So it will be very great if we will be getting to see the same faces over there. So like we'll be very happy to see you guys.
And as
At the same time पे और एक session है.
Tomorrow also we have a session at the same time 6. So it will be around 1.5 to 2 hours of the similar type session on more
the same link. On the same link. Join the same.
So that will be shared.